for my new chick, try and get fit. Said she too thick, ain't no such thing as too thick. What you want, be a toothpick?
I left that nigga on red, cause I felt like it. Dress me down in that rash in the raw jacket. Dapper, I look fine, and my checks define.
Hi loves, welcome back to the channel. So if you're curious to know what happened with me and my roommate and why she moved out, stay tuned. If you're curious about this hair, this is Ali Julia hair, and I will be wearing it throughout the video, wrapped up, because I was like setting my baby hairs into place. But I will have a video linked down below on how I apply my units and how I care for my natural hair underneath my units. Why did I pose like that? But yeah, stay tuned for this chocolatey makeup look with a, oh, I really like it. I'm looking in the mirror down here. But yeah, I really like this. Stay tuned for it, and stay tuned for the chit chat, and I'll leave the products, I guess, mentioned down below. And I'll also like kind of put pop-ups on the screen as for what I'm using at the current moment. So hopefully that's helpful to you guys. This is the, again, Ali Julia Peruvian, I'm about to say Peruvian straight, honey. No, this is Peruvian body wave. And at first I didn't care for the unit. I was like, I just don't want body wave. I don't like body wave. But yeah, after customizing a little bit and putting it on, it was actually pretty cute. And I was actually going to wand curl it. And I'm glad that I did it because it's cute in its natural state and it's voluminous enough. It has a nice density to it, and I just thought it was going to fall flat, but I don't have that issue. Let's get into this makeup look because I've rambled enough, and I will be rambling for another 20-30 minutes, okay? Hello guys, welcome back. So I just filmed how I guess apply my wigs and prepare my natural hair underneath my wigs, and now trying to get comfortable in a chair. I'm gonna film a makeup look and a chit chat little, you know, get ready with me. So I don't know what topic I want to talk about yet, and this is talk through, so it might be a little lengthier than a standard makeup tutorial. Got this box of crayons palette, and it's huge, guys. It's huge. Like, you get a lot of product, and I don't know how much I paid, probably $20-$30. But first of all, that mirror is beautiful. And then look at those colors. So actually today I'm doing like a brown sultry, not sultry, but I guess kind of brown chocolatey look. But next time I do a get ready with me, I'm going to be using like these brighter colors. And I'm going to like try to use all of these colors this spring and summer, because these are like beautiful. Let me give you a close up. Like, look. Prep and prime my face. I'm going to use my Badescu facial spray, and this is the Aloe cucumber and green tea one, and I'm just going to spray that all over. I just love the refreshing feeling that it gives me, and it's just like everything. So I can talk to you guys about the roommate situation. I'm just going to leave all the products I'm using on the screen because I cannot multitask and tell you everything I'm using and talk about the roommate. Alright. So, last spring, I wasn't too sure about, I'm gonna forget this, but this is a Nivea Milk and Honey Lip Care. But last spring, I was actually doing a closet sale with my old friends Delary and Eric, and I know people want to hear about why we're not friends anymore too. But not this video. I was on a closet sale with them, and we were at the post office, and yeah, we were supposed to be doing housing that day, but we really forgot about it, and nobody really made like a reminder. And I'm just looking for all my stuff, y'all, but nobody really made a reminder in their phone. We kind of just forgot about it, and we weren't sending like emails and stuff to remind us about applying for housing. So we were kind of shit out of luck. So that's when, at the point, and I wasn't driving then. I didn't have my license and stuff, so I wasn't sure about getting an apartment if I didn't have like a way to school, a way to go grocery shopping, and all that good stuff, you know, because I didn't want to depend on Eric and then Khadijah was graduating, so you know, and then I didn't want to just depend on people. I wanted to have my own shit together before I got an apartment. Like, it wasn't like money or anything like that. It was really just I didn't have my license or a car at the time. So fast forward to the summer. We were still like kind of waiting for housing to see what they were going to do, if we were going to get a place. And again, back in the spring, we were still talking about it, like, oh, who's living with who? People snuck and got apartments secured without telling people. Your so-called friends did that. And so yeah, we were like, all right, cool, whatever. Delary was my best friend, so if anything, I was like looking to live with her. We were cool with the other young lady who became my roommate, and I had just met her, I think fall 2016. Yeah, I think I met her fall 2016. So we were all kind of cool, and we were like really cool. Like it wasn't just a cordial thing. It was like, okay, we drank together, we had kickbacks and celebrated you know, holidays and stuff like that. So yeah, that was that. We were cool, and she did bring it up like we should get a place together, but again, I'm just not comfortable with just moving in. And you really do get to know people more once you live with them. And again, I just didn't know her like that. So if anything, I was probably wanting to live with Khadijah or Delary, because again, those were my best friends. Well, Khadijah's still my best friend. But yeah. So we kind of just left it at that, and we were still keeping each other updated when school was out, and we were still like, yo, we still ain't got no housing. This number on the waiting list and blah blah blah. So eventually, I think my parents was like, I should try it out, you know, living with a roommate before I just, you know, jump out the window and just do it on my own. So I'm like, all right, whatever. Long story short, I ended up being roommates, of course, with the person who was my roommate. And it wasn't like a super bad experience. I know people be having like roommate horror stories and stuff. I didn't have that, you know, like people putting Nair and shampoo, and people fucking poisoning people with fucking mold and stuff, and you know, just crazy stuff that I just don't understand why you need to go to that length instead of just waiting it out and dealing with the shit for a couple more months. Like, you're not going to be there forever. At least it's not forever. So we signed in 11. We end up looking for places, calling up places. The apartments app was very helpful for me. Of course, we were looking for 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. The place we end up getting, I'm not going to say no names, you know, people are like weird out there. But my apartment complex, I actually really do love it. And, you know, I'm just pretty cool with the people in the office and stuff like that. And I probably go there every other day to pick up packages and stuff. So, you know, it's a cool place. I fell in love when I saw the model. The price, it's a little steep, but it was actually one of the more inexpensive apartment complex if you want to compare it to like the really expensive ones that they have out here. So, yeah. We got the place, we got approved for everything and all of that. You know, the credit checks, the background checks, the salary checks and all of that, and you know. Alright, so we ended up picking this place, moved in about when did we move in? We moved in like August-ish, I think so, yeah. Around August the 7th, I think, or something like that. And like I said, we were cool. Like, it was like a fun experience. It was my first apartment, and I was just like really happy. I had got my license that summer, I got my car that summer, and it was like everything, you know, was just looking up, and you know, I will say about the place though, the rooms aren't equal size. Like that's why this one is not my office. If you like know what you're doing as far as decorating and stuff like that, like you can definitely make it a decent bedroom size. Like I have changed this place around so far a lot, and it's, you know, it's not that hard. But I will say I asked for the room with the closet, with the walk-in closet, because you guys know, like, I'm an influencer. I do a lot of reviews. I get a lot of clothes sent to me. I purchase stuff for reviews and stuff like that. So, you know, I kind of needed more space. So if we weren't willing to do that, I was just going to have my own place anyway, because I couldn't settle for this room right here. And I don't want to sound like a diva or anything like that, but I couldn't settle for this room just because it lacks space. And as far as closet space and storage space, you know, because I mean, you can fit a bed and a dresser, you know, or a wardrobe and stuff like that in here, but yeah, you know, it's like the same exact thing as the model room. So it's not as far as didn't lack space as far as like the actual room, but as far as closet space, I definitely needed the closet space. And then my bathroom is attached to my bedroom, and hers was actually in the hallway. But you know, when I had guests and stuff, for the most part, I asked them to go to the bathroom in my room, you know, because that's my company and that's just respectful. So, you know, that wasn't too much of an issue. And a lot of people ask me, well, why did she move out? And I'm like, well, I mean, that's something you might have to ask her. I was never given a reason, and I'm not like, what do you call it? I'm not like gonna be like, oh, you, at the time, okay, let's just get to the point. At the time, I was kind of in my feelings just about, yes, stuff that was going on around the apartment. You know, I just felt like I cleaned up all the time, and maybe I was the one making a mess, or maybe my guests were, but I just felt like, I mean, it's not hard to pick up a vacuum or anything like that. It's not hard to take out the trash, and I'm not the only person who used the trash. So, you know, just little stuff like that got on my nerves. But I was actually in my feelings just about something I was going through. And then stuff just started, I guess, piling up. And it just was like, I'm just kind of annoyed at this point. I forgot my eyeliner, didn't I? Okay, well, I'll just grab that whenever I need it. But yeah, I just was like annoyed with the situation I was going through and dealing with. And I just kind of shut down and stayed to myself. And during this time, this was actually the time that I received a text and was like, hey, I've been looking at apartments, something. I don't even really remember the text. Like, I don't even have her number and stuff like that anymore. I think I deleted the text thread. Like, I'm just like, certain things, you just let it rock, you let it go, and you keep it moving, you know? Like, I'm not about to dwell on anything that's not benefiting me. And the whole thing, like, I'm not mad about her moving. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place. But it's more so, like, I just shut down. And I felt like at that point, like, nobody really checked on me to see, like, you know, and I'm there to listen to everybody's shit and what everybody was going through. But nobody really was like, yo, Quan, are you good? You know, and it kind of sucks being that person who, you know, people can talk to, who you can help out a little bit, and, you know, being that kind, listening ear. And it just sucks when, you know, that's not returned. And yeah, I just kind of felt a certain way about that. And I just shut down and stayed to myself for a little bit. And like I said, I received a text like, oh, I've been looking at places. Would you sign the lease? Would it be okay if I sign the lease over to you or something like that? And all of that. So basically, in order to do that, you have to make a certain amount of money, like 3 times your rent. And, you know, that wasn't the problem with me. I didn't have a problem with that, like, as far as income and stuff like that. I just felt like if you come into a situation and you sign a contract with somebody, you should definitely stick it out. Unless y'all have some dire situation going on, you know, I don't think you should just up and leave a contract, and that's just my whole ordeal about it, and that's how everybody around me felt, you know, because I talked to my mom about it, I talked to my friends about it, and I talked openly about it. You know, I didn't hide in my car and talk about it. Like, I walked around, you know, mostly I was in my room. I was. Now I'm more so in the living room in the office, but I was mostly in my room and to myself. And yeah, I talked to my parents, my best friends, my friends. I talked to everybody about it, because if I feel a certain type of way, I'm able to express myself. It's not like, oh, I'm saying fuck this bitch and blah, 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 blah. No, I'm not being trashy about it. And I'm not sure if that's all I want to do with the eyes, but that's all I might do for now. But I wasn't being trashy about it and just, you know, just down talking everything. I just was saying how I felt. And then everything else was okay with me as well, because, you know, I didn't care. I don't know how to explain it, but I didn't care about the moving out part. I cared about the way it, like, came about. Like, it just was super random. Like, eventually, I mean, when the lease was up, I was going to get my own shit anyway. You know, 2-bedroom and at least 1.5 bath. But, I just felt like if you're going to, like I said, come into a situation, a contract with somebody, sign a lease for 11 months, you stick it out. You know, it wasn't like, okay, I left the kitchen dirty for a month. Okay, you know, just stuff like that. It just was like, I don't really know how to explain it. I don't. So I'm going to do the eyelashes and stuff while I'm baking. And I'm going to do my foundation and stuff now. Alright, so, yeah, I mean, it wasn't like I made it unbearable. You know, like I said, I started to stay to myself, and I had no problem staying to myself. Oh, man. Do I have my other kabuki brush? That's what I was doing. I was talking to my mom and my friends, and that's basically it, you know. The people who actually checked on my well-being. Mind you, Christmas had just passed, and I did some shit for Christmas. Like, I got people shit, y'all. Like, you know, I went in. Like, I made sure everybody was good. Everybody got at least 3 to 4 things, like, what they wanted off their list. Like, I wasn't selfish at all for nobody's holiday. But I felt like I was shortchanged, you know, a little bit. But that's fine, you know, because supposedly you don't do stuff for stuff in return. But you kind of do expect people to go hard for you like you going for people. You understand? And it's not about having, like, a lot of money and stuff like that and just splurging on people, but it's about the thought, you know, like, because I put thought into everybody's gifts, I felt like. But I don't know how to explain that. So anyways, eventually got approved to stay here and sign the lease on my own. I didn't put up a fight. You know, people were like, you should be petty and, you know, don't sign it over. You know, don't accept the contract under your, by yourself. Like, be petty about it. I'm like, it's certain things you just let go. You know, you grow and you rise above it. Like, everything doesn't call for all of that. Like, it really doesn't. So, I let it go. And I was like, well, this is what I wanted. I'm getting it now. And that's that. Again, I was never given a reason. I was told it wasn't because of me. It just was something, I guess, the person wanted to do. And, you know, like I tell people, I don't know if she wanted to live by herself, with her girlfriend, with her mom. Like, I just don't know. And it just wasn't, I'm not going to say it wasn't my place to ask, but at the time, I just really didn't care about the reason. I just cared about the principle of the thing. So, I'm almost at 20 minutes. And at the time, we both practically had, like, living partners. And that wasn't even too much of a problem for me. And, you know, because it's just like, we both paying, you know, bills and stuff, so I mean, I guess it's cool. I'm the type, I don't run towards confrontation because I have a lot to lose. I have a lot to lose. You know, I've built my brand, myself, and all this stuff up, and to risk it, like, you know, all about stupid shit and, you know, just bringing up confrontation and, you know, dealing with certain people, like, attitudes are crazy. So all of that is not called for, especially when you have shit to lose, you know. And, like, I'm gonna speak my piece. I'm gonna say what I want to say, like, especially if you say something to me. But, yeah, I'm not about to be out here doing crazy shit, you know. So, yeah, that's just really what happened. Like, I mean, there's really nothing I can say because I wasn't given a reason. And everybody was like, why? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not going to say I don't care to know. But this is my last time saying it. It's really just the principle of the thing. And I would never come into a contract with somebody and then leave, up and leave. But I was kind of told some stories about, because I knew, like, I'm associated with people who knew who she previously lived with. I'll say that. But what do I usually blend out my contour with? I'll just use the other end of my beauty blender. But, you know, I didn't take that into consideration because not that you think you can change people and stuff like that, but not everybody reacts the same with everyone. So I kind of didn't take the stories into consideration, and I just was like, I guess, you know, we just gonna rock this out. Like, we cool peoples, and, you know, ain't bringing none of that, you know, stuff in the past into our living situation right now. But, yeah, just left. And honestly, actually, after I shut down, we became cool again. Like, we kind of started talking a little bit more, and a situation happened with me and my ex-best friend, and, you know, she took me to the hospital and stuff, and I got my stitches and all of that. Well, she picked me up from the hospital. I took the ambulance to the hospital, and I got my stitches and stuff, and, so yeah, we kind of talked about that situation, and I kind of told her how I felt about, you know, we talked about my boyfriend at the time. We just talked about a lot. Like, we were really open with each other, and we really did talk to each other about stuff, but it just felt like at certain times, it just wasn't, I don't know. Certain times it just wasn't what it should have been, you know. And, whoa. I really need to get a new benign case. So that's really my roommate story. I don't have a horror story, you know. She just left. And then the only thing I had to replace, and this was a problem for a lot of people. A lot of my friends hated this. Like, they were like, girl, you need to stop buying everything. And even people on Snapchat were like, are you decorating, or is your roommate decorating? Like, how does that go? And I just was like, I'm not the type of person to sit around and wait to have stuff done for me. If I want something done, like, I want my home to feel like a home almost immediately. And I know it takes time, you know, to decorate a place and all of that. But I just wasn't sitting around and waiting for shit to happen. So how we were supposed to do it, like, I was supposed to decorate, of course, my bedroom and bathroom, but then the dining room and the kitchen. But I ended up getting stuff for practically, well, yeah, for the living room, the dining room, kitchen, of course, my areas. So I'm like, in the patio. So I'm like, you know, my friends in my family surely did not like that shit. And they were like, why don't you just tell her, you know, to get the stuff? Because like I said, she's going to do the living room. And I was going to do the dining and kitchen area. And that's why we chose gold for the living room. Well, that's why the living room is gold, because she chose that color because her mom was giving her like a mirror, a golden mirror, and we were just going to decorate from that. And we were supposed to get a gold lamp, but we didn't get it, so I ended up getting lamps. Then I just got the tables, then I got side chairs, then I just got stuff, you know, because I'm just, like I said, not that person to sit around and wait. Like, if something needs to be done, it needs to be done, and what are we waiting for? So I'm just looking, guys, to see if I need to do anything else. I did get my eyeliner, you know, but I'm just like, I don't want to say I'm impatient, because I'm patient to a certain extent, but when I feel like nothing's going to happen, I just do what has to be done. And that worked out for me, because what did I have to buy? Nothing but a couch. But yeah, the couch was the only thing I really had to get for the living room. Everything else I already had in there. And that's exactly what I told my mom and my friends. I was like, y'all, wow, this is like a pencil eyeliner and a liquid eyeliner in one, and it only cost $1 from Shop Miss A, and I did not even know that till I felt it turning a little bit. That's crazy. So yeah, that's what I was telling them. I was like, y'all, when I get my own spot or stay here and renew this lease, I don't have to worry about getting anything. So I'm okay with getting this stuff. And people were on Snap was like, no, that's not right. You know, 2 people live there. You shouldn't be doing it by yourself. And I'm like, it's cool. It's alright, because things always work out. And I'm super grateful for everything I have. And I'm just excited for what's to come. And I'm just not letting dumb bother me. You know, it's just like, at this point, people are going to do what they want to do. And I'm not going to hold anybody back. And if you move funny, I move out your way. And that's how I feel about everything that people like look at sideways. You know, all the situations that wasn't right, that happened recently. And I'm kind of just clearing the way and just making room for new energy, new people. And, you know, I'm just not dealing with a lot of shit. I also got to talk about my managers, y'all. Like, and I know people ask, like, how do I manage all of this stuff? And I did have managers, but at the end of the day, it still felt like I was alone in this. And no, guys, I'm not crying. My freaking eyes always water when I do, like, eye makeup. Eyeliner, anyway. So, that's my roommate story. And as I said, I don't talk. We don't talk, but it's like I don't hate her. I will say I bought some living room pillows from at home, which were quite expensive. That's not here. Let's just say that they're not here anymore. And I did send a text and say, you know, you could just leave them outside the door, same way packages are left outside the door. But yeah, I never received my pillows back. And I'm like, whatever. They were gray anyway. And I changed my couch. Well, her couch was gray and now mine is beige. So I guess I'm not too much worried about it. January rolled around. And I think it was January. It was almost February. And I got a message like, oh, I've been approved. Or I'm moving on such and such date. And I was like, wow, you know, I wasn't even aware that you were still moving out. Like, that's cool though, you know. And again, I ain't say shit else. Kept it to myself. We talked about what needed to be talked about as far as signing the lease and stuff like that. But other than that, that was it. So I'm about to speed through the rest of the video, listen to my Cardi B. And that's the roommate story.
It's in the air, like a blazing flare. Don't stare, cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything. Held you close by the stormy seas. Oh, you meant the world to me. I used to kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over. Keep you warm by the roaring sea. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. Oh, you meant the world to me. My darling dear, you're never here. When I'm in pain, you hide and disappear. Like shadows in the atmosphere, charting the stratosphere.